Hi, welcome back to Bobchi's Corner. We're in my kitchen, and today I am going to be making Chef John's perfect prime rib. And he is on Food Wishes, so I love watching this guy. His voice is one of those voices that will make you make anything that he is showing you, even if you don't like the stuff. He can get you to make it. So I am going to use his recipe. I will link it in my description box. And let's get to it. I'm going to start with salting this. And like he mentioned, when you think you did enough, add more. So I am going to start with salting. And I'm using kosher salt. Put this aside for now because next I need to make my butter with herbs, so I'm going to move on to that. I have a 1/4 cup of softened salted butter. He specifies unsalted. I'm using salted, and I won't add salt to my mixture. So I'm going to start with a tablespoon of ground black pepper, oh my goodness. Again, if you're not making a mess, you're not cooking. That's a tablespoon of ground black pepper. I need a teaspoon of herbs de Provence French blend. And I'm going to mix this all in together. I'm going to try. Still, I softened it, but still a little bit hard. Okay, maybe if I mix it in with my fingers, the warmth of my hand will soften it some more. My oven is preheated to 500. So the rule of thumb, according to Chef John, is it's 5 minutes per pound at 500. Then you shut the oven off and you let it sit for 2 hours in the oven. You don't open the oven, you don't touch anything. And you should get a medium rare. I don't like medium rare. I like mine medium. All my beef I like at medium. So what I'm going to do is add a couple of minutes. My roast is 6 pounds, just slightly over 6 pounds. So I'm going to do 7 minutes. So it's 7 times 6, that's 42 minutes. I'm going to do it for 45. And then I'll turn my heat off and let it sit for 2 hours. And fingers crossed, it comes out the way I want it to come out. So I'll bring you back at that time. It's going in the oven. I'm going to move on to making my horseradish sauce while the prime rib is in the oven. So I'm going to start with sour cream. I'm using the full fat. I would have used my yogurt, but I'm completely out. I got to make some more. So I'm going to use 1 cup, which is about a half of this container. The recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of prepared horseradish. I purchased the hot because the recipe also calls for a dash of hot pepper, like Tabasco. Well, I'm not going to do that because I already purchased the hot one. So it calls for 3 tablespoons. Three-quarters of a teaspoon of black pepper. So this is a half. And another quarter. Uh-oh. That was supposed to be a quarter of black pepper, not 3/4. See if I can get some of this out of here. Oh my Lord. Oh, always something. You know what? I'm just going to leave it. It'll be extra hot. It's 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So that's where I kind of messed up. This is a teaspoon, so I'm going to get 3/4. There we go. Put the cover on, and in the refrigerator it goes. So it says to let it sit for an hour. It'll be in there much longer. It'll be ready when the prime rib is ready. So moving on. My timer just went off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit off. So now it's going to sit in the oven for 2 hours with the oven off. What I also did was I'm going to do boiled potatoes. I'm not going to do mashed potatoes. I'm going to do boiled potatoes. So I washed all my potatoes, scrubbed them. I did cut them in half because some of them did have bad spots. So I cut them in half. They're in cold water. So I'm going to bring them up to a boil. I did cold water so everything comes up to temperature at the same time. Once it reaches to a boil, then I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes and come back and check them to see if they're soft. All right, it's been 15 minutes. The timer went off, so let me test it. All right, I think they're done. Perfect. They are done. So now I'm going to drain them and put them in a bowl just to hang out until I'm ready for them. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and make some brown gravy to go with that. I wasn't going to, but why not? The funny part is, well, it's not so funny, but the Best By date is way past Best By. The Best By date on this was June 7th, 2020. We're in 24, so that's all right. It'll be okay. Oh. See? I'm not thinking. I need to get that gravy down to the bottom of the bag. All right. Heat off. Cover on, and off the burner it goes. So I took about 4 cups of frozen veggies and I put them in my microwave in this steamer container, as this little thing here, and follow the microwave directions for 4 cups. And this is what I have. And this is going to go with the dinner as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to salt and pepper. I have real butter powder here. So that's what I'm going to sprinkle it with. So let me see what... I think this works better than like actual butter melting on there. So I have a tablespoon here. Let's see what a tablespoon does for us. Gives a nice buttery flavor, that's for sure, without a whole lot of butter. going to do one more. I did 1 tablespoon, so I'm going to do one more. I'll link this in my description box if you're interested in that. I kind of like this, especially if, you know, like if I'm on a weight loss plan or something. I love my butter. And this is one way for me to kind of just not overdo it with my butter. And it helps me stick to whatever plan I'm doing at the time. I'm not doing any plans right now, but when I do, I'll bring you along. It's the holidays, and I'm not going to sing. I love my subscribers. I don't want to lose any because I can't sing. All right. I'm going to cover it and let it wait. The prime rib still has about 20 minutes left of sitting in the oven with no heat. I am so curious to see how it turns out. I have my fingers crossed that this is the one time a recipe goes right for me. And I'm not, you know, I don't know, stressing over it. Please give me medium. Please give me medium. Please come out right. That's all I ask. All right. So I'll bring you back when the prime rib is out of the oven and we are ready to slice everything and do our meal prep containers. This is going to be a wonderful meal prep for the week. I am so looking forward to this. All right, guys. Here's the moment of truth. Let's see what we have here. Taking out my good knife. I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Let me do this. We'll do it like this. Oh. Oh. Look at that. That's a nice medium. Beautiful. This really came out nice. Chef John is right. Something about that math and letting it just sit in the oven with the temperature off. Really, I'm impressed. Okay, so now I can really start to meal prep. So let me get all of this together and I'll just bring you along while I'm doing this. Thank you once again for joining me in Bocce's Corner in my kitchen while I did my meal prep for the week of prime rib. Chef John, I have to say, he's onto something with that recipe. That is phenomenal. I will I will link his everything down in my description box. I'll link his recipe. I'll link or write out the recipe for the horseradish sauce. And anything else that I have, I will link. So thank you for joining me. Hope to see you soon. Until next time.